I don't know why fruitcake became the butt of jokes during the middle of the 20th century. I suspect it was because they had become overprocessed and easily shipped by mail order. And late night talk show host Johnny Carson virtually killed fruitcake with his joke, "There's only one fruitcake in the entire world, and people keep sending it to each other." To give it a holiday feeling, spices were added, such as cinnamon, allspice, and of course, nutmeg. Combining fruit, nuts, sugar, and alcohol to the dough before baking helped to preserve the finished product and extend its stability. Egyptians knew this and made a type of fruitcake to sustain the dead on their journey to the afterlife. Roman soldiers survived on a different type of fruitcake when conquering Europe and the Middle East. During the Middle Ages, knights would carry a fruitcake like ration during their time in the Crusades. When the fruit and nut studded baked goods had begun to teeter on decadence, the Catholic Church, in the 1400s, banned the use of butter during Advent, and Stollen was born. The English would have none of this and broke away from the Catholic Church in the 1500s so that they could put butter back into their fruitcake. There may have been other reasons as well if I think about it. Nevertheless, the Christmas treat continued to march toward what we recognize today with the increased availability of sugar from Caribbean plantations. In my Christmas special video, I talked about revelers not leaving until they got figgy pudding. Well, fruitcake, heavily laced with liquor, was one of those items given to carolers in England by wealthy landowners. Fruitcake has a noble and long history, being brought to America by colonists who appreciated its long-lasting durability. By the 1930s, however, America's desire for sweet treats had been transformed from cakes and breads to chocolate, thanks to companies like Hershey and Mars, and pastries took a back seat, being served on special occasions, but not as a source of sustenance. Sugar rationing during the World Wars also aided in reducing interest in home-baked goods, along with the introduction of prepackaged box mixes starting in the 1930s and booming in the 50s. No longer baked with love by Grandma, fruitcake was now produced in factories and placed in gift tins for the mass market, especially at Christmas time. Simpler items were being made in kitchens, such as sugar cookies, which could be decorated as a family affair, or baking gingerbread for houses, turning baking into a craft. These replaced the complex fruitcake as homemade Christmas traditions. The advent of mail order also moved fruitcake from the hand-wrought, knitted sweater realm to the corporate-like inconvenience domain. Ordering a fruitcake for relatives and business associates could be handled in bulk and was easier than the old-fashioned, outdated practice of creating items from scratch. Don't get me wrong, I really like fruitcake and look forward to the Christmas treat annually. I've begun buying them for myself basically for two reasons. One, I have fewer associates since I retired, and even then, I don't recall having received fruitcake from any of the people I did business with. And two, the price of ingredients has skyrocketed, making fruitcake once again a luxury item. And just because it has a negative reputation doesn't mean that the rich cake packed with dried fruit, nuts, and booze doesn't still sell. As a matter of fact, Serious Eats claims that over 2 million fruitcakes are sold each year, and I didn't buy all of them. Now,